Over the past few months, we have studied ways in which the FBI has obtained countless methods and systems through the crimes of serial killers. The impact of catching serial killers in the FBI has led to the FBI gaining new techniques and ideas on how to catch criminals. Due to the uprising of serial killers in the 60s, the government was forced to find new ways to catch criminals that went beyond simple detective work. Due to new techniques of profiling, we have caught many criminals of violent crimes and now understand the mind of serial killers better. Not only do we have new systems to group kills and understand the killer, but the increase of serial killers has also pushed for new chemical techniques like fingerprints and genealogy. Through events involving serial killers and their capture by the FBI, they have sparked revolution, reform, and reaction in the United States in countless ways.
These impacts came about during the rise of serial killers in the late 1900s. The serial killer phenomenon increased danger all over the United States. FBI agents needed to find powerful and effective techniques to find these criminals and prevent further murders and crimes. One key person who helped discover and advance these technologies was John E. Douglas. Douglas and his partner Ressler invented a crucial database to understand serial killers. This technology is extremely useful in FBI's current advanced devices. To create the database, Douglas and Ressler interviewed 36 different serial killers to understand their motives. After collecting information, they put it into their system, which is now called the VICAP. Though Douglas did not completely discover the system, he and his partner assisted a lot in the process. While not mentioned in this article, another significant figure who helped develop the VICAP was Ann Burgess. She was a rape specialist and contributed to many cases like Ted Bundy and the Menendez brothers. She encouraged and proposed many of the actions Douglas and Ressler admired for. Her knowledge on rapists helped our understanding of lust killers exponentially.
An article that further demonstrates the altercations to the FBI is an article titled 6 Key Moments in the History of Profiling. The article, written by Cardinal Peak Technologies, observes the history of profiling and the advancements they made. For instance, in 1985, the VICAP was created. The database system, as previously mentioned, has assisted agents in predicting and preventing further dangers in the USA. This invention can be seen as an active revolution towards the serial killers and criminals causing harm to America's society. As proven, VICAP has demonstrated a crucial way in which criminals can be arrested and taken away before they cause even more harm.
The VICAP system can be demonstrated as reform in the United States. This invention of the database has helped agents understand the motives of criminals and how to put an end to their crimes. The VICAP has given a powerful upper hand when it comes to profiling and capturing killers. This reform is demonstrated as a beginning to an end for serial killers.
Cases such as Ted Bundy, though extremely horrific, help reform our methods by creating a need for new technology and understanding of violent crimes. The case also accelerated investment in the integrated criminal databases, laying the foundation for systems such as NCIC for real-time nationwide records on fugitives, stolen property, and missing persons, CODIS for sharing DNA profiles across jurisdictions to help solve violent crimes, and other national registries for tracking sex offenders, fugitives, and violent offenders.
Bundy's crimes and lack of personal evidence had made it too difficult for FBI agents to find and catch him. Bundy did not leave fingerprints, and DNA testing was not yet widely available. The bite mark analysis became a pivotal component of the prosecution's case and helped secure his conviction. Ted Bundy's crimes helped create a reaction to the victims' rights movement in the U.S. His victims were predominantly young women and many of them college students, which exposed how easily predators can exploit gaps in public safety and community awareness. In Kaylee Oswalski's article investigating a serial killer, the development of FBI's role told through public documents, she stated that DNA Identification Act of 1994 allowed the FBI to create the National DNA Index System. The Combined DNA Index System is called CODIS. As of June 2018, CODIS is credited with assisting in more than 409,788 investigations since it launched. As a timeline of events referring to serial killers every single year show change and innovation of new programs to keep our country safe. Besides the numerous programs the government made to help trap serial killers, there were a wide number of more physical or scientific methods created too. One we already mentioned was the bite mark analysis, but there was also fiber analysis, interviewing techniques, and a process of behavioral analysis like MOs or personality killing. In the Wayne Williams case, fiber evidence was used for the first time in a new order. In the past, fiber evidence had been used to corroborate other proof and give support. It was not considered to be a big piece of evidence, but in the Williams trial, other pieces of evidence were used to corroborate the fiber strands. By finding pieces of fiber in 11 out of 12 of his victims' surroundings, they directly connected those pieces of fiber to things in his life. They were so crucial that these victims were positively linked to both the residence and automobiles of Wayne Williams.
Interview techniques were also widely researched because of the need to improve them. Previously, while interviewing a suspected criminal, the interviewers were rash, angry, demanding, and it was hard for people to understand how those violent criminals could do such a crime. If there was one person to think of the master of interviewing, it would be our friend John E. Douglas. He helped create a 7-step process to successfully interrogate a killer. 1. Get ready to pivot or adapt. 2. Body language. 3. No good or bad cop. 4. Converse, not interrogate. 5. Don't underestimate. 6. Avoid lying. 7. Work out motivations. You are never trying to go into an interview to win. View it as a nice talk, not a debate. Douglas said that when killers would blame or joke about the victim, he would laugh with them. Unintentionally, it creates trust and connection between the pair. Psychopaths, or those who are keen to do violent crimes, have big egos. They are the alphas. They control the room, and they have the power. It is important to let them keep that mentality while also defending yourself. Do not sit with your arms crossed in an accusatory stance or shrink to look like prey. He did not use words like rape or murder because they were too jarring and sound judgy. As long as you create an environment where they feel safe, they will open up to you. When lying, do not agree or disagree, but politely call them out. Each killer is unique, but to an extent, they'll never feel true empathy. Instead of confronting them, find out what motivates them.
Zinderberger proposed 4 types of serial killers: visionary, mission-oriented, hedonistic, and power control-oriented. It's loosely based on 4 distinct driving motivations. For visionaries, they believe it's a divine right to kill, often for mental illness. Mission-oriented killers similarly feel like it's their duty to kill outsiders or specific groups of people. Hedonistic killers like the killing; it gives them joy and gratification. Power killers have a deep need to dominate and control their victims. Killers like Harold Schneider create a realization MO and how killers often will kill in the same way. Most killers will collect trophies such as hair, body parts, or jewelry to memorize their kills. As shown throughout America's history, there have been many disturbing crimes that have put citizens in countless forms of danger. Another one of the horrors demonstrated in America was reaction. There was a fearful reaction from citizens who felt endangered by these serial killers and murderers. Also, killers like Son of Sam sparked revolution around the U.S. due to his fortune and great income from his kills and fame. Most importantly, there was a reaction from the FBI which led to their reform and revolution towards these killers causing harm to the United States. There was an exemplary reaction to the serial killer phenomenon. That people's fear during these times was one of the things that motivated the FBI to make these changes the most. Wanted posters and warnings in the news helped spark fear but also spread of new information among vulnerable communities. Ted Bundy's being the main example for bringing fear and uncertainty among the nation. Because of it, the FBI's reaction was to introduce new processes to catch a killer and techniques not regularly used before. Examples like the Son of Sam protest over his financial income for his victims or the bills presented to exterminate early release for violent crimes. The people's reaction led to many of the changes in the FBI by public protests and civil rights to propose change in the way the government was set up. FBI agents have discovered many ways that can help them prevent the danger and prevail through dangerous times. These changes have formed revolutions between different opinions on serial killers and the FBI. The serial killers revolted against the laws and safeties in America. There was also forms of revolution by the FBI who revolted against these criminals trying to escape and undermine the crucial laws.
There were examples of revolution when citizens of the United States were unhappy and revolted and protested because a serial killer known as Son of Sam was gaining money and fame through his crimes. This angered countless people because a killer like him should not be gaining so much from committing crimes and killing people. Another example of revolution was in the FBI. The FBI revolted against the serial killers and invented systems and methods to take down criminals and murderers to make the United States a safer place. The revolution caused a great decline in the amount of serial killers since the 70s and 80s when there was a couple hundred. As of 2010, there were only a little over 40 serial killers recorded. This decline marks a substantial importance to the United States and to the FBI. An example of reforming the United States that can be demonstrated is the VICAP database. This system became crucial for behavioral analysis and finding specifics to their cases. This reform came about during the rise of serial killers and other dangerous criminals. Thanks to FBI agents, finding serial killers is a lot simpler but also faster. There are less dangers of these serial killers. Infinite dangers have been avoided through these advancements in the FBI. Without these, more serial killers may be at large and continue to cause harm. The reaction, reform, and revolution sparked ways in which serial killers can be defeated.